Hello and welcome to SIGCSE Coffee Break, brewed fresh every break session, sponsored by Google, live from the exhibit floor here at the Rhode Island Convention Center. I'm Mark Sherriff.
And I'm Kristen Stevens-Martinez, and we're here to chat about everything going on at the SIGCSE Technical Symposium 2022.
Oh my gosh, we're here!
Yes!
We're in Providence!
We're here!
I cannot believe it, because we weren't
Yes.
anywhere last year. We were just kind of in the ether of everywhere, but thanks to you, our first hybrid chair, very exciting, and the efforts of the chairs this year, we're back here on the show floor. You can't see necessarily everyone here. You just have a nice view of us. Hi. Virtual friends, we are so glad to have you joining us today. So how tough was it to turn this into a hybrid conference?
Let me count the ways by starting with 2 + 2 = 5.
Okay.
0.9999. I wanted to do that joke during the keynote, but I'm like, I probably shouldn't.
You probably
I can
shouldn't.
say it here at least.
You can say it here. All right. Well, that's good. That's good. I am just thrilled at how many people are joining us, not only in person but also virtual. And it's really interesting because it really shows how much our community wants to not only be here in person, but also still be with us virtually. And as Larry said in the keynote or in the plenary session this morning, that travel's never going to be a barrier anymore.
No, it's not. Which is like amazing, and it was one of the reasons why I agreed to be hybrid experience chair. I was like, well, in some ways I was arrogant enough to know, well, I think I can do it well, so I guess I'll agree to be the chair.
That makes
Because I care about this stuff.
Yeah, of course.
I have opinions, and I'll use them.
Yes, that is. We'll make sure that this is going to happen, and it looks like it's going great. It looks like it's going great. Now, we want to make sure, you keep thinking, yeah. We want to make sure all of you virtual participants feel like you are part of being here. So please make sure you're watching Twitter, tweet things out, hashtag SIGCSE 2022. There was a ton of tweets coming out during Liskoff's keynote this morning, which was fantastic.
Yes.
I hear, unfortunately I wasn't there because I was finishing setting this up.
I was also doing a lot of stuff in the background, so I wasn't 100% watching, but everyone in the chat seemed very excited.
Well,
You can also do things in the chat on Pathable.
Exactly. Make sure you're doing things in chat and Pathable. Also, there's other things that we want to make sure that all of our virtual folks are able to do. The puzzles chairs came to me and said, hey, we want to make sure that everyone at home has an opportunity to do things as well. So you should be looking for trivia clues in Pathable. Yes, in Pathable. Everyone here live, you should be looking for clues as QR codes hidden in the rooms around the Providence Convention Center. And turns out we were given an exclusive clue just for Coffee Break. We're not going to, not today, not because I was literally just given it and I can't read his handwriting. So we'll do it. We'll do it another day. But we need to talk about everything that's coming up. Let's jump over here to the syllabus.
Yes.
Because I love silly naming of things. So I went with what was in the program.
You didn't read all the emails, the website,
Okay.
and also listen to all three of us that said, please use the Pathable
In
for
all,
the agenda.
okay, yes, yes.
This was printed a long time ago.
Okay, but yes. So I'll do better next time.
Okay, good.
But I needed to look at something when I was making this.
Okay.
And I wanted to, okay. Anyway, so what you're saying is, okay, so we're not having to look at that. We should be looking at everything in Pathable if you want to know what is coming up next. But so, here on the floor, we've got it up on the screen. We've also got it here on the screen. Tons of sessions coming up at 10:45. What do you see here that you're excited about?
I'm especially excited about the special session, to be honest. And that's one of the few things I'm going to try and get to.
Okay.
Because special sessions are one of those things that, like, I don't know if they'll record well.
Yeah,
So
okay.
I'm definitely like, I think I'm going to try and get to that, but I might actually attend from my hotel room.
Well, okay.
It's virtual.
It's
and as the
virtual.
hybrid experience chair, I should experience the virtual piece too.
Wow, that's deep.
But
Yes.
also, I want to make sure I'm there for Author's Corner, which is right after.
Right. So make sure you remember that, virtual folks, that the Author's Corner, it takes place at noon and 9:00 p.m.,
Yes.
where the virtual authors are there to answer your questions, trying to recreate as much of that in-person Q&A experience as we can, which is fantastic. Now, are authors here that are in person encouraged to go to Author's Corner, or?
Yeah, so if you're an author that's presenting virtually, you're going to Author's Corner. If you were in person, we invited them to go to Author's Corner or send a co-author
Yeah.
to Author's Corner if they wanted to, but we did not require it in any way.
Okay. All right.
But also for Author's Corner, it's one of the big things that I did with Author's Corner is I did not want each author to be alone in a breakout room by their lonesome themselves. So
Right.
I did a little bit of wedding planning to match them up into groups of 3 and 4 in breakout rooms. So each
Okay.
breakout room
All
will
right.
be like a little author's panel
Well,
to
understand.
talk about their work.
Okay.
But at least also they'll have friends if
They'll
no one
have
else
friends.
comes to their breakout room.
Yeah, I know that was definitely something that happened with virtual last year, particularly with
And
poster sessions.
Yeah, and it was not so great.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I
It's a
d-
first try.
Well, we tried.
Yeah,
we were
it's a
trying.
first try, and then
Yeah.
you learn and we move on.
We learned.
Just
and we
like you
move
tell
on.
your students.
for those of you that haven't seen, there are 2 best papers coming up in this next session, which is awesome. Probably want to get there early to make sure you get a seat. But one thing that is, I don't know, good or bad, or just a fact of the matter that only half of our folks are here. You could probably get in these rooms.
Yes.
So that's good.
That's probably good.
Which is
virtual is
good.
infinite seats.
Virtual is infinite seats. Well,
Kind of.
I'm sure there's a Zoom limit that they'll hit.
There is a Zoom limit, but we were not going to hit it.
We're not going to hit it. Okay. Don't forget about supporter sessions. So in this first block, GitHub and Microsoft have their supporter sessions. We're always thankful for our supporters. Are supported by Google right here at the coffee break. We'll be talking with folks from Google today, as a matter of fact. If you are a first timer, either here or virtually, come to the first timers lunch. If you're at home, print a copy of a menu and stare at it. I don't know. Hopefully you will order DoorDash or something, so you're not making lunch for the first timer lunch if you're at home. But yeah, that'll be fun.
You'll be speaking at it.
I know, I'm speaking at it, which is kind of weird.
Why?
It is. Well, so the first timer lunch is intended for the service award winner, like the lifetime service award winner. And this year it's Simon. Awesome dude.
Yes.
Yeah, congrats to him. He's awesome. But he didn't want to travel from Australia. Understood.
Understandable.
Yeah, and he also opted to get his award at SIGCSE, where he does more with that conference.
Yeah.
So they asked me and Sarah Heckman and Jeff Carver to do it, and we're just kind of like, well, we're a step down. But we'll have fun.
Still beloved.
Yeah, don't ask the attendees of 2021 about that, but we'll see. We'll see. So awesome. If you are a first timer, please make sure you're coming out to take a look at that. Then after lunch, if you are not a first timer, Larry talked about some of the restaurants around in the area. I went to the hotel, you know, the room service for dinner.
Room service for dinner.
It was fine. You know, it was good. And then we went to the mall for lunch yesterday.
Yes. It's a little confusing to get there.
It is a little confusing to get to the mall.
Like, you get there and you're like, this is the parking lot. Where do I go next?
Exactly.
And then you're like, oh, I go up. Now I'm in the mall.
Yeah. It was the most hidden food court in a mall I've ever seen. But anyway, coming up in the afternoon sessions at 1:45, another best paper session here, AI and ML, another best paper there, which is fantastic. I would highlight the CS22X curricula presentation. My own department did a really deep dive on the 2013 curricula to revamp our entire department. Yeah, we have a paper on it. It's Saturday afternoon if you want to. Anyway, or Saturday morning. And it's something that is really important to get feedback on from the community. So really encourage everyone to, if you're interested in the way that we're thinking about curricula, make sure you go to that session. What about here? What do you see for you?
To be honest, my brain just stopped.
Well, you know what? Seemed like a good idea at the time. COVID-19 is a good place where brains stop, probably.
Yes,
because
that's probably true.
Yep.
That's probably a good one also.
That was a good idea. And then this afternoon, supporter sessions from Google and from ZyBook. So don't forget about the SRC. And then we're back. We're back at 3 o'clock.
Yes, we are.
For another coffee break. So tons of stuff going on here. And we are so excited. Excuse me. Let's not do that again. That was bad. Learning on the fly. I got everyone's attention. Got everyone's attention. We are so thrilled to welcome representative from Google, Dr. Shanika Hope, the Director of Outreach, changing the overlay. Come on and join us.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. Welcome.
I'm thrilled to be here.
I was so thrilled I made a very loud sound to everyone here in the audience.
No worries.
Good try. So we'll just make sure that the mic is good for catching all of us. So this afternoon, well, first off, let's just say thanks to Google for helping us put this on. This was something that was exciting in 2021 when we did it then. And the fact that we were able to have a sponsor to help us get this together.
Absolutely.
Wonderful. So, and thanks for Google's continued support of the symposium.
This is an important community to us, and being a company that wants to understand how to best support computer science education, there's no better place than SIGCSE to be here. And so these are fantastic partners and community, institutions that are important to this work. And so Google's thrilled to stand and be a sponsor here. So
thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
It's fantastic. So could you tell us a little bit about what's going on with the supporter session this afternoon?
Yeah, so this afternoon at 1:45, we've got a session where the intention of that session is to walk through a number of the interventions that Google provides, specifically in the space of computer science, across K-12 and all the way up through undergrad and graduate. And so we're going to walk through several of our computer science programs that provide curriculum, teacher professional development. We also provide grants, research grants, to teachers and institutions so that they can continue to study and investigate best practice around computer science education. We're also going to talk about artificial intelligence. And so there's a new initiative that we have where we want to engage educators to understand the opportunity of AI. And then more importantly, we've got a number of direct service programs to students. We're going to talk about a program called Code Next. This is one of my favorite opportunities that Google provides students directly, where we take cohorts of high school students through their entire high school experience, pair them with a mentor, provide them summer hands-on learning with the technology to strengthen their technical skills. And we coupled, and all of that is designed to help them understand what is the post-secondary opportunity here? What are the careers that are available to me? And also build their sense of identity and confidence that they too can do this work. They're tech creators.
Yeah.
And so programs like this allows us to help students see themselves in this space, in particular underrepresented students.
Yes. Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah, super excited. So that's what our session's going to be about. It is a hybrid session, so we will be in live in session. So those of you that are here in person, please come join our session. We'd welcome the opportunity to have conversations with you directly.
Awesome. I'm excited. For the Google session?
Well, yeah, I was going to say, if you had any questions that you want to lead it to, that's all.
I love you're like, here, say something.
Well, I have a question for you all.
Okay.
So I just talked about a number of our interventions. One of the things that we're always curious about is understanding what are you seeing, what are you hearing as you interact with students and they move through their education journey. What do you see as potential opportunities that industry like Google could do more to help students persist and thrive and then ultimately step into their career or entrepreneurship in the space of tech?
So I think for me, like the one thing that I sometimes struggle with and wish students more knew about is they were more aware of everyone makes mistakes.
Yeah.
And everyone still makes mistakes, even if you've been doing it for 20 years. And you're like, oh, there's the same typo I make almost every time.
Yeah.
So I once had this idea of like, what if I could get like experienced software engineers to do the bug that almost got away video series.
Yeah.
Where they're like, tell me about a bug that you found, but it was an epic journey.
Yeah.
And tell it to me and give me that story. Because like, I think, it's kind of like, the fish that got away, but you actually did catch it that time.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, I have one of those stories, but it took me an entire day to find like, why do my numbers not match?
Yep.
They're supposed to match.
Yeah.
And it took me an entire day. And then at the end, I had a fortune cookie that said, even the most simplest things can go wrong.
It's true.
And I was like,
it's true.
The perfect end.
Yeah, you're totally touching on something that we try to model every day at Google, which is this idea of having persistence and grit and failing forward. Failure's part of the process. And I think the beauty of, in particular, some of the interventions that we talk about today and what we're learning a lot about here at SIGCSE is that students have to be comfortable with the failure. The failure is where the learning is.
Yes.
That's how you strengthen your skill set, is by failing. If we always got it right, it's difficult in the learning there if you're always finding the successes there. So it's nothing wrong with the failures. And I think that's also the power of community. And so by us providing opportunities to give students access to software engineers that say, look, it took us months to figure this out.
Yes.
There's power in that, and for students to be comfortable with that.
Yeah, and like, it's very hard, especially for students to understand, like a lot of madness happened behind or like we were all working really hard. We were like the duck, smooth on top.
That's right.
Paddling like hell underneath. And no one knows, because especially for students, because they think, oh, you're the gods, you know what you're doing. Yeah. And like obviously sometimes not at all is that translated.
That's right. Iteration. And that's our students get the benefit of seeing, and users get the benefit of seeing the finished, polished out product. But behind all of that, to your point, is a lot of iteration. It's a lot of failure. It's a lot of testing, debugging.
Yes.
So absolutely.
It's shocking to me. It's shocking to me how often I will talk about a concept in my software engineering class, and they'll say, "Well, where did you work, Sheriff?" Like how, but I'll definitely get the I don't believe you.
Yeah.
They don't do retrospectives at the end. I'm like, do you think I'm coming up here just to lie to you for fun?
No.
Like, what are you talking about? And so, honestly, demystifying, like we're talking about, it's just so important because
Absolutely.
not only is it's just understanding how the software process works, but also understanding that software is such a people-oriented thing.
And it's a creative process.
It is.
It is. It is. And trying to make sure you're thinking about how do you be creative in that space and how do you create software for everyone as opposed to
right.
just creating software for yourself.
For yourself. And that's the power of a diverse, why the diversity equity lens to this work is so critically important. And we heard that today in our keynote,
Yes.
where it takes a village. We need multiple voices, multiple perspectives to build the best solution that everyone can access and participate in. And so I think it's funny, as I listen to you reflect on your students' comments to you, there is power of bringing technologists in the classroom and diverse technologists in the classroom so students can hear directly from individuals that are doing the work every day. That's also something that Google provides, are internships. We want students to be part of a team to see how the development process happens, the creativity. How do we debate, disagree, make decisions, consider risks, mitigate those particular risks? And so internships and work-based learning opportunities are critically important for students to gain those kinds of perspectives. And that's what we want to provide. So thrilled to do it and happy to be here today, and hope you all can check out our session to learn more about some of these programs and interventions that Google is providing. And look, we don't have all the answers. So we encourage you to take a look at our website. Go visit us at google.edu
Okay.
or edu.google, and learn more about some of the programs that we have. Or just Google.
I was like, that's a little
Just
confusing.
Google it.
edu.gov. Turning
I know.
URLs are. Google has so much power. You've
Google it.
inverted the URL.
That's right. Exactly, Mark.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Such a pleasure.
We'll get to find it. Well, is there? It's always great when we have a Google booth on the floor. Y'all weren't able to do it this year. We're here, which is great. But if people wanted to find Google folks here at the symposium, there is the supporter session. Are there other places that they can engage? Either.
Yeah, I would say if you take a look at you mentioned this earlier in your remarks, take a look at the live schedule that's there. We provide a number of links that can direct you to some specific places to learn more about our work, but also to have direct interaction with our team. There's a number of us walking around. We're wearing a lot of the Google logo, so you can find us pretty easily. But I would encourage you to take a look at some of the information that's there on the site, and then we'll be happy to follow back up.
Fantastic. And could they also message you through Pathable or?
Yes, exactly
Okay,
right.
great.
Okay.
See, we're using Pathable.
Yes, good.
Yeah,
We
go,
should use it.
go us.
Go us.
I only saw a handful of
Absolutely.
complaints about Pathable already, but that's okay.
Well, that's good. It's just day one.
It's just day one.
It's all right.
No. We'll have a great symposium. It's
We
not
will.
just day one. It's going to be good. We're going to be good.
It'll be
We'll
great.
Be like the duck.
This is true. Swirling along underneath the water.
Oh, okay. So it took me a second. I remember you posted that on
Be like the
Twitter.
duck.
The be like the duck, where on top of the water you're completely calm, and under the water you're paddling
Sailing.
like crazy.
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
right.
that's conference.
I love it.
So,
Well, Mark and Christine, thank you so much.
thank you so much
Such
for
a
joining
pleasure.
us. And yeah, thank
More
you.
to come.
Yeah, and I'm sorry
More to
about your
come.
microphone.
No worries. Have a great conference.
Thank you.
Oh man. Oh, wrong view. See, we're figuring out how we're gonna do this with the mic. So I have to ask now, folks on the floor, because now I have now tried 3 different things with the microphone. Is this better? You can now hear us better. All right, good. If we pass it back and forth like this, as opposed to where it was up here. This was not as good. Not as good. So. All right. Well,
We
we're
know how to do
learning.
that. Yes, we
We're
are
learning how to do this live. So let's reiterate kind of what's going on coming up, because break is going to start breaking up soon. Folks who have to go to their presentations will probably want to start getting there
Yes.
pretty soon so they can get set up and ready to go.
So for those who are on virtual, we have 3 hybrid sessions for you, and I think that there are 2 panels and 1 special session, if I recall correctly, but I might be wrong on that. And there are also all the pre-recorded videos that you can watch, and there's Author's Corner at noon, during the noon lunch break.
There you
So
go.
there are things for you to do right even now or after this for the virtual
There you
folks.
go. I apologize to the virtual folks. This is not something for you, but anyone who is here on site. So at the end of 2020, of the Portland conference, when everything was canceled, everything got shipped back to my office in Charlottesville, Virginia. Everything.
All the
anything,
slack.
everything that wasn't bolted down that was owned by someone else got shipped to my office. So I brought it all back. So if you're here and you would like a SIGCSE 2020 sticker for your laptop, I've got hundreds of them. And they are it's a lovely logo. The people who put it together, the artists who put that logo together did a fantastic job. So please come and take a look at that. Looking again here at the syllabus, where people should be going next. I think I would go to the, personally, I think I'd go to the AP on switching to Python. Just because you see so many CS1 programs now that are using Python as their intro. Not all, but there's a lot that are. And when we were redesigning our curriculum, we had a lot of questions about, well, how do we transition now the AP students in? What credits do we give them? Do we make them go take a Python class? That sort of thing. So yeah, fantastic. Well, I think that'll do it for episode 1.
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Thank you very much, Mark.
No, thank you. And we will be back at 3 o'clock.
Yes, we will.
With another episode. So virtually, make sure you come back here. We'll talk more about things going on. We will have other guests. We have some special surprises, particularly tomorrow morning. That will be a fun one to come and join us at. But until then, take care, be safe, and we'll see you at the next break session. Bye.
Bye.